So if you would tell a pregnant woman in class about family bed, I never heard a woman say, oh, that sounds terrible. Every woman's eyes brighten up. I said the first 40 days of birth, after you don't want the baby to be 9 feet away from you, sleeping with your baby, nursing with your baby, makes them full human beings. Other of you, they're down the hall. You buy that little machine so you can hear them scream. They're in a crib that looks like a cage, a monkey cage. And then they start crying, but there's no one there. Versus right next to you, you go, and make little sounds, and you make little sounds. They gurgle a little bit. I mean, they're so secure when they're next to mom. And dad, if there's a dad, and dad if he can handle it. Some dads can't. They think it's just weird, or they have to get a lot of sleep because they're out earning the money. So get out of the bed and let your woman be with baby. Good if we can both, but not always possible.
And what do you think about taking the fear out of pregnancy?
Oh, it all comes in yoga and meditation. And not just yoga and meditation, it comes in camaraderie. They have grown a family of women and then bigger families that some of the classes when I taught 30 years ago, they're still getting together and meeting. Their kids are friends. So you're growing this community that you never planned on, no bloodlines or anything like that. You come together, why? Because you have a 9-month window. And so in that time, these women are so united. And they share each other's fears. They share each other's happiness. They share the birth stories. They cheer them on if they're in labor. We do ceremony. And they just feel they're with family. So that's very, very important. And then the technology of breathing. The technology of meditation, the technology of keeping up this for 3 minutes every day to take all of the fear and all the anger from you. And women, when they first start, oftentimes their arms will go down, up like that. But then in the end, they're like warriors. Warriors with grace and dignity. We dance, we laugh, we eat. We do couples where the husbands come. And we have them do the same thing that we do, and they can't even keep up. 26 squats, pregnancy squats. I mean, they move, they get strong. And I think in the olden days, as soon as a woman was found to be pregnant, they wouldn't let her do anything. So she lost her muscle, she lost her inner strength, she lost everything. And then, of course, she got to lay flat on her back while the doctor tried to pull the baby out. And now we own our births. And the ways when you travel around the world that you'll see how women birth, what they hang on, trees or ropes, all kinds of things where the body's so straight. They do it so differently than the West tried to get us to do it, lying flat on your back. How can gravity ever bring a baby out? They really told us some stories that were not based on truth. But now we're back to truth, those that know it. And that's why it's our duty to come into India. I want to teach you pregnancy teachers training here. Scholarship women in. Get the nurses from the hospitals. Get the doctors. Come on, you guys. Stop cutting our women open. I mean, they call it a C-section. They should really call it major surgery. Because through every layer. And I'm not saying it's not important. They've saved many children's lives. But a lot of times they didn't need to do it. But if women don't have some technology, breath, how to get through, preparation for labor, they'll take all the drugs. Who wouldn't? But if you know I can do it, and then you have people standing next to you, whether it's your partner, it's a doula, someone that's your cheerleader, helping you along the way, instead of someone just coming in and checking your drip, telling you, okay, looking at the watch, telling you this and telling you that, and all that kind of stuff. That's why we love home births when possible.
Yeah, and trusting your intuition as well as a woman.
But that's catch-22. Sometimes you don't know you have any intuition. You've never been told about that. You never had the experience of that, and that's where meditation I can't imagine birthing a baby without having meditation, because it's the biggest meditation you'll ever do in your whole life. And some women just birth from the inside. They don't even open their eyes, they just go in. Others look at somebody, others look at a picture. You never know. You have all the tools set up for maybe what you want, or maybe what at the moment you do. It's pretty amazing.
Do you think that in India right now there's a crossover at all between the old traditional ways and new
No.
ways?
I think there is. I think they still have home births, but probably a lot of the babies die if you have no money to go to the hospitals. No, I think people of middle and upper class just choose hospitals. Although there is a midwife in Goa who delivers babies. She's a white woman there. I'm sure they're pocketed here and there. I haven't done that much research yet, but I do know that it's going more Western. Some very dear Indian friends to me says, yeah, no, that was China. In China, they always talk about wanting to be ahead or better than Americans. You know, so people put us still on a pedestal, and it's so dumb. So, I mean, why? Just because we have more money? We don't have more happiness. But then they see, oh, C-sections came into being in America, and they just got contagious in Brazil, Turkey. Plus, it gives the doctor that timeline. Sets an appointment, can still go to dinner. Takes patience too. Takes 9 months of patience. It takes however long it takes to bring the baby out. And yoga helps to create a meditation patience. Having the patience that is needed for this particular soul to come into the world. They all come different. None of them look the same. They all have different destinies because each child has its own unique soul and its own unique purpose for being here. And if as a mother you can facilitate and help them to arrive at their destiny and their purpose, that's the best mom. But if she starts bossing them around or trying to live through them or become so attached to them, you gotta give them the wings. It takes a lot of wisdom to be a good mom. And that's why moms starting their path in pregnancy and meditation and yoga often brings them to become teachers or pregnancy teachers or great meditators. They change their life when they understand that you are, not only did you make this child and the cells of the body in the womb, but they're looking to you for everything. They're looking into your eyes, they're tasting your milk, and they're also watching your actions. And, you know, babies are like monkeys, they're copycats. Even a child walks like their mother. Watch it sometimes. They're like little ducklings. Except a duck is a duck. A duck's not going to be anything different than a duck. But think of all the human beings. The difference in all the human beings. They're not all ducks. And that's where we're different than the other animals. Because we can't, oh hi honey, you can put it right here. It comes in, oh you're so sweet, thank you. Thank you, love. Because we have different souls and different destinies, we have different things to do. And a good mother knows to not get in their way, but if they're going way south, to help bring them back. It's like sheep. It's the most, to me, the biggest job and the most challenging job in this whole world is to be a mother. Mothers have to know how to pray. They have to keep a vision of their child. They can never say anything bad to anybody else about their child. Oh, my child is this. Oh, my child is that. Sometimes you get a little kid. Girlfriend comes over. And the mom will complain about the kid in front of the kid like he can't understand. Like they're just these little dum-dums. The respect that we have to have. This one knows more than this one. And how much can we learn from children? They really are our teachers. They're our mirrors. Yeah. It's all based on money. If you start really looking at almost anything that's not right, and one with God and one with nature, it's always based on economy. And what is economy based on? Money. Greed and power, that's what has destroyed us before. And what is we're being challenged with now. Yeah, they try to help us to forget. In the 60s, they dried up our milk in the hospitals. They gave you a pill, and then they said, oh, we're so sorry you don't have any milk. Why? Do you know why they did that? Because the Nestle milk company started making formula, and they started paying the doctors and giving the doctors all the samples. And so then the mother had to turn to a Similac.
Yeah.
So in the 60s, I started helping with births in New Mexico, and so many things were coming down. Women were put into jail, midwives in Indiana. And still to this day, as far as I know, Alabama, if you have a baby at home, you have to go to prison or jail or something. Yeah.
Wow.
So there's a lot of archaic things, but we know midwifery is on the rise. I don't know if it's on the rise, but more and more people are choosing to have their babies at home. I don't even know the rates in America because I'm not there very much. But I do know that Western medicine, I'm not saying we don't need it sometimes, because we do, and they do amazing work. But in most cases in birthing, if we just have patience, education, inspiration, tools, and people around them that can help them, in almost all cases you can make it. That baby. It's a big mission we need to do. I'm doing another. I have a teacher's training in May in New York, and we get a good amount, like 50 women from all over, and that makes my heart glow because I do 3 of them a year. So that means there's 150 going out and helping to change wherever they came from, awakening those souls in the classes. With music, with dance, with meditation, with chanting. And I mean, can you imagine, like, if you never did any of that and you got pregnant and someone said, oh, you can go to such and such pregnancy class because it's fun and you need to exercise. And then they come, and then it's like the door opens to a whole other world that they didn't even know existed. So you catch them in pregnancy and you change them forever, and then you change their children, their children's children. It's like a domino theory. But you gotta catch the mama with baby in the womb. I mean, we have to do everything we can to heal this world. But I'm into the womb life because I think that holds the best chance. I think trying to change some current politicians would just be God. I don't think that's gonna work. But I've watched it over and over and over of women who change. Women who get light, they get bright, they get gorgeous. They birth, they stay home for 40 days, they nurse, they make their own baby. They don't even make baby food. You just take chunks of stuff. And I know some people, they don't even use those stupid spoons anymore and try to feed your baby Pablo. They put little peas and let them eat just the peas or little cubes of sweet potatoes. You know, when they are ready for the spoon, they'll get the spoon. What is this, feeding your little kid and they slop all over the place? So many ways to do things that other countries do, but we just have got the marketing machine so big that if you don't have this toy or that toy or this toy or that toy, if you don't have the right buggy, if you don't have the right, I mean, all those contraptions that fold up, put them on your back, take. Oh my God, who designed all those and for who? The mother who just thinks she has to have one. Right, we don't tell anyone until we're about 18 weeks pregnant. We keep it a secret, although sometimes you get a little bump. We don't tell anybody, even our parents, because sometimes people are so afraid they've had so much bad luck with miscarriages or things like this. Others are jealous. You don't know, but they're jealous. They've been trying to pray they can. So we just keep it between mom and dad and stay so quiet and so reverent. Plus, you're not always feeling that great anyway. And then, on the 120th day from the time of conception, so say you made love 3 days in a row, then just meditate. Say, okay, it was the second day. You just, if it's one day, 24 hours off, it's okay. Then you count 120 days after that. And that's when the soul comes in. The soul will hover. You can almost feel it hovering. And people have had great experiences. Because we have a ceremony then, that you as a couple would make food and invite people in. And you could read poems or do kirtan, whatever was your fancy, whatever your culture is. And then you just sit, and everyone meditates with you. And often you can actually feel the soul coming in to the womb. And then it's usually the time you're feeling good, you're getting energy, you serve everyone food, and you just have a cheery time. And they give them mother gifts for mom, for you. And then not for the baby at that time. And then everybody knows it. Everybody knows you're pregnant, they're celebrating, they're so happy. And then we go through the pregnancy, and then after the baby's born, we stay home for 40 days. Just like every other culture, Japanese, from China, from India. Your mothers would always come and take care of you. Now we don't have mothers. If we do, we often don't want them to come. And so oftentimes we hire doulas that come, and they, unless dad can cook, they cook food, they do your laundry, every single thing, so that you can stay with your baby and not be 9 feet away from your baby. And we like to say, when baby nurses and when baby sleeps, you sleep with them. And after 40 days, you will be so in good health. But if you try to run around and do all the things while the baby's asleep, you lose milk, you'll get weary, it doesn't work. So then people say, well, aren't doulas expensive? They are. It's like $18 an hour, I know, in California. But what you do, instead of getting all those cute little clothes that they don't like and want to wear anyway, because especially if we have a spring or summer baby, diapers and a shirt, that's all they need. You just say, well, you know, I really want to have a doula in my 40 days, and so I would just like a request of money. And you'd be surprised how many people want to give you money. It saves them time, and I don't need the most fancy care, whatever those things are, because I'm gonna carry my baby. I don't need that. And then more money. And so you can pay somebody. I mean, just imagine this. There was one woman I taught maybe 30 years ago before we ever started doulas, and she had been nursing and then trying to get the baby to go to sleep, and sometimes it can take 2-3 hours. She's so hungry because your blood sugar is so low when you're nursing, because your mother's milk is your blood. So what you're feeding your baby is your blood, and your blood is your personality. So if you're all angst, hungry, tired, they won't nurse, and you know, that's what they're drinking. So anyway, she comes down the stairs, child got to sleep. She opens up the refrigerator, she lost it. She just cried and cried. Because she had, you know that kind of stuff when you come back from a holiday? Some pickles, ketchup, maybe there was some chips. You want a delicious meal when you're nursing. You want somebody to cook it and bring it in when it's just the right temperature you like, or just salad, whatever you want, they're getting it for you. And I'm telling you, the fresh juices, whatever you want. And that's worth a doula. And then she'll also do your laundry and keep your house nice and tidy. And if you take a shower, then she can hold the baby, or your baby's asleep. But she never takes the baby away from you. Her job is to do the grocery shopping. If there's other children, take care, I mean, you know, and dad too. I mean, when I had my daughter 32 years ago, we didn't have money at all. And so my husband was home because he was doing it as a home business. So he did everything because he's a good cook. But these women that get that good, luxurious, and then on the 40th day you come out and you present your baby. And again, you can have a party at your house or temple, whatever pleases you. People bring gifts for the baby then. And they can also bring food, or you can get it organized by your girlfriends. And then you put on a beautiful dress, and baby puts on something beautiful, and you walk out and you present yourself to the world, and that's ceremony for us. It's nice, isn't it? And so many people have brought it in because it made sense to them, and it changed just a lot.
I have one more question.
Sure.
I don't want to keep
No,
it
that's
too
okay.
long. You know, have you ever heard this legend in Namibia of the woman who wants to conceive and she sits underneath the love tree and she calls in the soul of the child? I was wondering if there was anything in the Kundalini tradition that's similar, or if you know of how mantras can support
Yeah.
the pregnancy.
Yeah, it's definitely Bhuta Matakia. You're already singing to the soul. You know Bhuta Matakia. Yeah, if a woman sings that, we have some renditions of Narinyans and Sonatams. They're like 11 minutes long. I never miss a day. If you want to call the soul in, that's how you call it. Now, oftentimes you can feel something hovering. You can feel it's ripe. And other times women don't want to have kids and they don't ever feel anything. I had one woman I married they were actors, well-known actors, and it was under the condition that she didn't want to have children. He did, but he respected her wishes. 10 years passed. I get a call from this actress. She says, do you still teach those pregnancy? I said, yeah. What do you have, a friend? She says, no, me. So I just woke up one morning and said, I have to have a baby and I'm not pregnant. And she was so adamantly against it. So maybe at that time, but then it started hovering. And the hovering isn't like, you see in a spaceship, but you're getting a sense. There's some sort of a sense. But if you get desperate, like if you wait till you're over 40, they have to do in vitro, think you're calling in a soul who, I mean, they could be great souls, but there's a desperateness to it. And that's why I always encourage women, if you want to have children, don't wait till you're 40. I see more women get so miserable. But maybe it was a plan in the first place. And the woman who went to Vietnam has helped 700,000 children. Not every, first of all, it's not a recipe for happiness, okay, or joy. It's not there. It's part of something that you were meant to do this lifetime, okay? Or not. Prabhu never had kids. She's got 250 kids. People wrap their heads around misery, depression, and disappointment if they can't get pregnant, where it might have never been a divine plan. And then people are promised that if they get pregnant, everything will be fantastic and better than ever. Not necessarily. And also when women get pregnant, they get a lot of attention. Sometimes I think women want to get pregnant for that attention. They want to be loved. And then they get a little kid, and then they get more attention, more than even people with dogs. People come up, oh, little baby, oh, little dog, oh, she's so pretty and everything. And so you start identitying your identity with that child. And then the kid goes to school, oh, he got all A's. Like, did you notice how smart I am that I gave him that gene? And we start becoming a mirror and a projection for children, and we don't. So I just say, let go, let God. And also, if you're making love and you're just so anxious to get a kid, I mean, what is that? What kind of soul is going to come to that?